Ugly. Ugly. If you asked me, hey, Elias, I want you to describe the Metropolitan, the Met, how would you describe it in one word? That's the word I'd use. Ugly. We begin this third hour of the Elias Macco Show by taking a look at the Metropolitan Expressway and hopes of better things for the highway. An architecture firm is proposing a new project for the Met. Lemay proposing to add a level to the expressway to develop urban gardens, acoustic screens, and even housing units. Some experts say the idea is promising, but it'll take a lot of work. So let's find out a little bit more. Louis T. Lemay is with us, architect and president over at Lemay. Monsieur Lemay, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much.
Great to have you on this morning. So can you describe to us your vision for the Metropolitan Expressway?
Oh, yes. Actually, the idea is to turn into an opportunity, a large public investment in infrastructure that has to be done for the Metropolitan, and turn that into innovative solution for contemporary issues such as collective mobility or housing shortage, while reducing carbon emissions and also creating a better living environment. And the idea is to generate a discussion or a roundtable about how we can federate different stakeholders in a common vision rather than working in silos. So instead of just investing billions of dollars of redoing the Metropolitan as it was done in the 60s, why don't we use that investment to think about public mobility, think about how we can use light train or tramway, because there's no public transit, strong public transit on the east-west line, so that could be added, planned for later. And also, how can we use the value of the air rights of the land that is used to build a platform, a kind of eye line that you've seen in New York or other example in other cities, where we can create a linear park that will link the south and the north part of the city, but also could walk east and west. And using that park to build, we find around about 3,000 units of housing, all different kind of housing units. So that will help to create a better link in the city, and also to put all the traffic more. It would be more contained, so we can, with the green walls, we can reduce the noise. We can manage the dust, and also there will be less snow, less maintenance on the highway. So at the end, it would be a better project than just rebuilding the same thing and create a new way of thinking about what the city of Montreal should be in the future.
And of course, timing is everything here. So let's talk about the timing, right? So the Quebec government, like it or not, they are redoing the Met, right? And soon. So now's the time to talk about this. Are you worried that the Quebec government and Transport Quebec will simply decide to redo what we already have and basically keep it the same way?
Actually, that's what we brought that idea, because it will be. I cannot believe that we will redo the Metropolitan the same way it has been planned and done in the 60s, where now our issues are way different, and we can use that for different solutions. But the idea is that don't work in silos, work within all the different ministers, would be environment, housing, work with the city of Montreal, with all different stakeholders, even the housing builders that could be involved in that. So it's complicated in a way to bring different people together, but it's an opportunity that we should not miss.
So let me ask you about how much it would cost, right? Because I think that's always part of this discussion. Would your plan be, much more expensive than what if they just redid it the same way? What about cost here? Because your vision is very beautiful. I'm looking at the renderings here and the garden on top and the pathways and the multiple levels. I love what it looks like, but it also looks very, very costly.
Well, the cost of redoing the highway would be the same. It's the same highway, okay? So we don't change that. There would be added costs to provide light train or tramway on the ground because that doesn't exist. But that would be part of, could be done later. That's another project. But the cost of building the other slab on top of the highway would be paid by the air rights because the land has a value. The land value of the highway can be used and sold in order to build that platform and also build the housing on top because it's all about the value of the air rights. So the cost would not be much more for the upper level.
Monsieur Lemay, has your group, Lemay Architects, have you completed projects that are as big, as grand on this? Why should people be listening to your firm for a project of this size?
Well, we've been involved in Montreal for almost 70 years. We've been now we are been doing 27 stations for the REM. We're working in different. We're working on the blue line for the metro. We've been involved in large building in Montreal forever, so we understand Montreal. We know what Montreal is. We also work internationally, so I mean we understand the problem, and we think that if we bring people together, it's not just us. It's if we bring all different thinkers and stakeholders together to create a new idea. And we're not saying that this idea is the one that has to be built. What we're saying is that we have to think and bring new ideas when we generate and we invest so much money in our public infrastructure.
Monsieur Lemay, what has the reaction been? And obviously I saw it, I thought, wow, I love this. But have you heard any reaction from politicians, others, since you've released those renderings in your vision?
We had reaction for different people. It was good reaction. Actually, not from politicians. We didn't ask and we didn't look at that. So I don't know about politicians. But of course, it's a kind of project of that magnitude that would have to be led by the government because it cannot be led by anyone else.
Monsieur Lemay, I'm going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Take care. That's Louis T. Lemay, architect and president over at Lemay. And if you'd like to see that vision, those renderings, if you go to the CTV Montreal website, there is a report that's been put up. You can watch the video, and it contains some of those architectural renderings of what the future of the Met could look like.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.